what does Liam Coen have to do? Like, what's good look like? Usually you get a honeymoon, right? Usually you get a little bit of a, hey, we'll figure this thing out. Pete Carroll said, hey, last time we did this, it took 2 or 3 years to get to where we wanted to go, which was the top. What's it look like for Liam Coen? What's your expectation for Liam Coen before we even know the full makeup of this team?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think unfortunately, if you asked me this question 3 or 4 years ago, I would have said, yeah, I mean, I think obviously winning record number one and maybe trying to get to 9-10 games, but now and apparently there's just a semi that feels a certain type of way about somebody. But anyways, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. There's a
I can't even hear it.
Crazy. Okay, yeah, never mind. Sorry, but I think with what we've seen now with teams like Houston, who turned it around right away, teams like Washington this past season, who turned it around right away, and you see how many close games the Jaguars played last year. I'm expecting at least a wild card berth, and
Wow.
I think competing for a division. I think that's what the expectations have to be, because we all think that you have the quarterback. Now we're going to have the play calling. You have some pretty solid pieces. You got to add more, obviously, but for as many close games as you lost, which we think comes down to more coaching than it does players, at least I think, yeah, you got to be competing for the playoffs. And I'm not sure that's a fair expectation or not, but I think that's the way the NFL works, where if you think you have your quarterback, if you have your franchise quarterback, you got to be able to compete.
Yep.
It's really interesting to now you got me interested in looking at some of these other guys, because I do think, again, Quinn was not a first-time head coach. I'm trying to think of a guy who's come in as a first-year head coach and done really well right away. I don't know what Sirianni did in
Ryans.
Oh, D'Amico, came back and won the division. That's good. 9, and I think they were 9-8. Is that how they won the division? Yeah, last year I think it was 9-8, or maybe they ended up at 10. They might have got to 10. But yeah, that's a good one. And they weren't really ready like this. I'm not sure they are ready. They came in with a rookie quarterback, so you couldn't really see that writing on the wall that they could do such a thing. I was trying to look up McVay. What did he do? Let me just go back real quick he was 11-5 in year one. 11-5 in year one. So it was able to make a big, was that the year they put everybody together, or was it the next year they just kept trading? I think they might have started trading for everybody in 17 though. And then they end up winning the Super Bowl, obviously, in 18.
Matt Nagy was 12-4 in 2018, first year.
Wow, was he with Chicago?
Yeah.
Really?
Brent, did McVay, was Goff's second year?
That would have, I think it was Goff's second year. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was a draft pick in 16, I want to say. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. That, and you just gave us another. There might be more evidence of this. It just feels like it's usually a gradual march. I mean, you give me D'Amico Ryans, I give you Sean McVay, you give me Nagy, and Nagy didn't even have success, in the long run. So it's possible. I do think we think about mentally, because we've done this so many times in Jacksonville, to your point, Austin, it's we think, okay, it's going to be a little bit of a climb, and, you're probably not going to the Super Bowl in year one. All right. But I think your expectation might be on. I mean, we're talking about year 5 of Trevor Lawrence. If he unlocks Trevor Lawrence, and we think Trevor Lawrence is the guy, and they think Trevor Lawrence is the guy, and we already know they have some pieces, then why not? Why not just the Murphy's Law part of this that I keep bringing up about turnovers and close games? Why not get better play from your offensive line, defensive line? Why not get better play from your quarterback and your running backs? And all these marginal things that just go, okay, that flips around. I mean, that's 9 wins. That might be 10 wins.
I'm going to give you 2 more guys. I'm curious, but you guys can look it up because I can't obviously be on my cell phone from the show. Kyle Shanahan and Matt LaFleur.
I'll look up LaFleur. I got to believe that's a good one because LaFleur.
Shanahan was 6-10.
Ooh, okay, never mind. Scratch that.
So Shanahan was 6-10 his first year with the Niners?
Mm-hmm.
Huh, that was a good call. I would have thought better than that. And how about
LaFleur?
LaFleur, by the way, here's how he goes out of the jump, all right, in his coaching career, his win-loss record's really, really good for good reason. 13-3, 13-3, 13-4 right out of the gates. Now he does. I mean, again, in fairness, he's got Aaron Rodgers, right? I mean, he's walking in with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
that was MVP Aaron Rodgers too. So
yeah.
It's a different deck of cards. But your point's not hey, do we feel like Trevor Lawrence can be MVP? I don't think we're going to get carried away there, but we think he can play at a much higher level. So Liam Coen. And what I love about some of these guys that you're bringing up, it's that style of offense. It's like McVay, it's LaFleur, it's O'Connell. By the way, look him up. I think he had 13 wins in his first year, if I'm not mistaken, in 2022.
Yeah.
So these are from that tree, instant success. So we might have just found something. That's a nice trend. All right, now you got me interested. What about Zach Taylor? I feel like I'm doing an auction here. Highest bidder. Let's go. Okay, not so much on Zach Taylor. 2-14.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's get him to the side.
2-14, 4-11, then 10-7, 12-4. So okay, so he was there a couple years before, and that's right. He was there. I thought they were going to reset it before Burrow even got there. I thought they were going to give up on him. In fact, after 2 years, that rings a bell now. And then they obviously get Burrow, but again, the quarterback ends up being a big factor there. So this is a very good trend for Sean McVay's tree, which has already been good, but Sean McVay's tree to have a lot of success early on. And man, maybe Liam Coen can be that guy. I mean, these are a bunch of first-year guys that were able to jump in and figure it out, in part because this offense, what they've learned under McVay, what they were doing in that Rams building, all the things that we talked about yesterday on the show, that is a really nice trend. And again, this place is set up for more than that. I wonder the same question about like Shad. Like, what are Shad's expectations? Does he even have any at this point? Because he's like, what the hell? I just said last year this is the greatest team ever assembled, and we got 4 wins out of it. Like, he might be a little bit lost in that world. Like, if I was him, I'd be like, I don't know what the hell to think about this team. But let's all just hope it's good, and we'll sit back here and watch.
Let's just keep trying to learn, everybody. Let's just keep trying to learn.
Yeah, because we've been dying, so we better be learning.
Well, let me ask you, what is your guys' expectations? I kind of gave mine what I think it should look like. What are you guys thinking?
I don't think you're wrong. You said wild card at least. I would say win the division because I think they should have won it this year. I think there's very little. There's not a lot of friction. There's not as much as in other places. And I know you said, and everybody said, and Malarkey said, hey, I don't care about the division stuff. The bottom line is this dude walks into a division that is gettable. And it's one of a couple of divisions in the National Football League that you would say that. It's like, okay, this is doable. This is gettable. I mean, you might have the Super Bowl champs coming from the NFC East. The NFC North is loaded. The NFC West does have people like the Rams that have been traditionally good, or the Niners who people think are good. I would say that's a little open right now, too. NFC South is a bit open, especially with all the changes in Tampa. The AFC West, forget about it, right? The AFC North, forget about it. If you're coming into that, like, yikes. And the AFC East has the Bills, and I think that's going to be the biggest factor right now for a guy like Vrabel even getting back on track, because the other teams are ahead of them. I think even the Jets are ahead of them if Glenn can do it. So, yeah, I think you're talking about a division that's gettable. And I would say forget about the wild card, Austin. This division hasn't been good enough for me to trust that you can get a wild card out of it. I think it's more, let's go win the division. Go take down Houston. Tennessee should not be that big of an issue. Should. Indianapolis still figuring out their quarterback spot, and I think Shane Steichen's kind of on his last leg. I think they brought those guys back, and it's one more go-around. Usually that doesn't work out great when you're about to make a change and you keep them. And obviously Anthony Richardson, we have no idea about. This is Houston and Jacksonville. This is what we thought it would be this year. It should be Houston and Jacksonville. Jacksonville never came to the party. They never showed up on the dance floor. But Houston's going to go through some changes with Slowick. And they've gotten a lot of breaks because this division has been bad. And quite frankly, the Jacksonville Jaguars have given them the breaks to allow them to win a couple of division titles with ease this year and also come back and get it last year. So, yeah, I would say right now, why not win a division title? Can you get to 10 wins? That would be +6. Hamby, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think it's very reasonable. The question is, why wouldn't you be able to? Why wouldn't you be able to win this division? Why wouldn't you be able to?
Well, because we make things hard around here.
Well, yeah, but it's
go ahead.
You're always going to have those guys where it's like, you can never expect a division win unless you're coming off a division win. And I get that. But you look at the one-score games, and it's not that hard to get to when we should have been. I mean, because there's a question. The question stems off of what do you think we should have been able to do last year in 2024? And people will tell you they thought you should have won the division. So if you improve, you stay healthy, and you have a new coach who you believe in, there's no reason to not be able to do it in 25.
Yeah, I mean, the window has to be now. I just feel like because, and I get it, right now it's a 2-horse race between Houston and Jacksonville, it seems like. But, like, let's be honest, guys. I feel like going into this past season, it was supposed to be a 2-horse race between Dallas and Philly to win that division. And then here comes Washington. In the NFC North, it was supposed to be a 2-horse race between Green Bay and Detroit. Nobody, and I mean nobody, had Minnesota doing what they're doing. And this is with a guy in Sam Darnold who it was kind of an afterthought to a lot of teams. And like, yeah, Chicago is okay, but like I think people were like, they might be decent, but rookie quarterback and everything. So it goes to show you, like, you think that the window is wide open. You think, okay, it's gonna be a 2-horse team, and all of a sudden, maybe here comes Indy out of nowhere. Maybe here comes, do I dare say it, sleeper team of the year, Tennessee, to come make a difference. I'm not sure. I'm just saying it's easy to say right now it's a 2-horse division, but other divisions have said that as well. There's always a surprise. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point. I really, again, I don't want to get carried away with it. We just know what the AFC South is, and we know this should have been better. Like this isn't just homering up. There's writing on the wall that this could be a lot better in 2025 if Liam Coen can unlock some things in that locker room and also add the right pieces and figure out some of that with whoever the GM is in the front office. So I'm trying to think back in 2016 when they fired Gus and they kept a lot of that together. They had blooming talent there. It was disappointing they went 3-13 in 2016. They actually had a defense that was playing pretty well. And then obviously Coughlin and Marone come in. They change a little bit, the identity. They go get really good pieces in free agency, and they go get Fournette, and those guys make a difference. They make a big difference in 2017. From top to bottom, it was like every decision was good. I just don't feel like the Jags are going to make those kind of decisions in free agency. I think they've already made those decisions. So they've almost got to make the decisions that were made better this year. Like they've got to, the recipe, the ingredients, all those things, they've got to make it taste a little bit better rather than go get new ingredients for the recipe to the point that they did in 2017 when there was that big turnover. So the Jags are going to have to find some stuff. They're going to have to make some right decisions. But I think maybe the best way to describe this division is who will have the key to unlock their guy at quarterback. Quite frankly, C.J. Stroud has played well the last couple of years, but he didn't play well enough this year, I think, for everybody's like, is he the first year C.J. Stroud, or is he a little bit more what we saw here in year 2? Trevor Lawrence, can Liam Coen unlock him to see the potential that we think is in there? Anthony Richardson, is there potential as a starting quarterback in the National Football League? Can Steichen and company get that out of him, and can he turn into what Jaden Daniels was this year, even though it's going to be his, third year in the NFL? Can this be the year that he really takes off, or is there really no hope? And then I don't think there's much in Will Levis, because I think there was something there for a bit, and then it went backwards. So what are they going to do at the quarterback spot? Whether it's the draft, because they have a high pick, does that guy come in and make an immediate impact? Or do they go get a free agent quarterback? Does that guy make a big impact? So who can unlock the quarterback? I mean, it's really simple, right? I mean, whoever unlocks the quarterback in the division is going to the playoffs. It really seems.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
So we'll see if Liam Coen can do that here in Jacksonville. There's plenty of reason to believe he could, but we've believed a lot around here in the past, and it hasn't come to fruition.